İlk olarak ben bu resmi protokolleri çok zayıfım. Onun için herhangi bir hata yaparsam özür dilerim. Sayın bakanlar, bayanlar, baylar ve çocuklar. Ben şimdi İngilizce devam edeceğim. My name is Cem and I'm the CEO of Wordapp.com. And we are a Turkish startup based here in Istanbul. We are in taxi. And last year we did e-ihracat worth of about $1.3 million, and it's all technology. And today I would like to talk about why we need to focus on three areas to make exports sustainable. And I have learned these lessons. They're based on my own experience, but they're also based on all of these clients that we work on every day that use our platform to create content and translations in over 28 languages. And what I want to talk about, I think we need to focus on three areas to meet our 2023 goal of making an export of $500 million. And those are, we need to go native. We need to definitely do e-export. And finally, I would like to talk about the secret to building a sustainable e-export business is search visibility. And I want to start with why going native is so important, and this is my own story. In 2011, my life looked like this. It was pitch black. I was broke. And in June 2011, I have to admit to myself that I'm not going to raise money for my current startup. And I had about 2 months of money left in the company. I had a debt of 100,000 euro, where I was personally liable, and we had 6 people here working in the office. And I thought, what can I do? And luckily enough, I'm half Turkish and half Swedish, so we had 4 other people in the company that were native in both Turkish and Swedish, Norwegian, and Finnish. And I figured that it's cheaper to live in Istanbul than living in Sweden or Norway. It's definitely cheaper than living in Norway, because in Norway a hamburger Big Mac company costs like 40 euro. And I called an agency that was writing content and translating, and I asked them, do you want to buy some translators or copywriters from me? And he said, yeah, Jem, that depends. What's the price? And I said, yeah, 12 euro an hour. And they said, Jem, that is a fantastic price. I want to buy 500 hours. And over the phone, I closed my first deal, which was 6,000 euro worth of e-exports. And then I was thinking like, wow, this is fun and easy. How do I get more customers? And obviously, the first thing I do is start a website. And as you can see on this website, I'm doing a bit of everything. I'm doing SEO, I'm doing content, I'm doing languages, and I'm also doing usability labs. Frankly, I have no idea what I'm doing. And this is called minimum viable product. In Turkish, it would be called yaparız abi. As you also can see here to the right, you see that we're already doing it in 3 languages. So the site is 1 month old, and we already launched it in 3 languages. The reason for this is that I started my first business in Sweden, and Sweden has a population of 10 million people. That's basically half of Istanbul. You cannot survive if you don't export. So there's no Swedish company that doesn't do it in Swedish and English at start. And fast track a bit, I was not converting so good. So I started coding a bit again, and now you see that I'm starting to figure out what the keywords are. And there are translation services, there's content writing, and now I've added a 100% satisfaction and a best price guarantee. The reason was that we were starting to get some leads in, but they didn't buy. So I figured, like, if I give them a 100% satisfaction guarantee, why shouldn't they buy? And then I said, I had no idea what the price should be, so I said, like, I also give you a price guarantee, tell me if my price is too high. Additionally, you see that these people are looking up. So if you look up like this, you will follow my eye gaze. And by these people looking up, we have actually doubled conversion. And to the right, you see again that we have 5 languages now. The language you don't see here is Norwegian. 6 months later, we started to understand what we're doing here. Now we're 6 people. We're making money every month. We are an SEO and translation agency, and we're doing this in 8 languages. Today, we are 20 people at our Taksim office. And this year, we look to make about $5 million of e-exports, and we hope to become 45 people. I'm not telling this to brag. I'm telling this because I've been talking to some people out here, and we overthink too much. Put up the site. I guarantee you, in English and Arabic and Russian, the guys are not going to buy right away. And we have some logistics problem, yes, but you can also take your suitcase and go there and deliver it yourself in the beginning. It is that easy. You need to start selling to understand what happens. And the second part is we have a lot of good products in Turkey, but you need to go native. And you can just think of it yourself. I'm talking in English now because this is an e-export fair. We have a video, and we sell to 28 countries. This video here will help me to market stuff. But just think of yourself. Do you prefer to read in Turkish when you're at the beach? Do you prefer to shop in Turkish lira? You have to go native. And this data here is from Statista. I think they talk for themselves. So why do we need to do e-exports? Well, it's a math problem. And if you don't do e-exports, this will happen to you. And this is reality. Internet sales is growing incredibly fast. H&M has lost $50 billion of market value in just 3 years. The reason is they're too late. They let Zalando take this place, and they're not catching up. And if you don't do that, life will be boring. If you do it, however, life will be very fun, because the e-commerce business in the next 6 years until 2023, it will grow 2.6 times. So even if you're average, your business will grow almost 3 times. That's pretty good. The reason why I'm on stage here today is that I read on the flight with Turkish Airlines from Stockholm to Istanbul, I read about sustainability in exports from Mr. Mehmet Büyükekşi. He's the chairman of TIM. And when I read this article, and the reason why I took a picture of it was like, he was talking about sustainability, and I was like, actually he's talking about growth hacking and retention and churn. I know this stuff. What if, let me look at the numbers. These are the numbers from a growth perspective, and basically we have 2 variables to work on. From 2000 to 2017, we have had 201,000 companies that have done export at least 1 year. However, in 2017, only 67,000 of them did export. What this means is that in this room here, next year, 2/3 of you will not be here. Or out of 100 people, 70 people will not be here. We definitely need to work on this part. And I know that TIM and the government is doing it. The second problem, and this is a classical online business problem, is that the top 1,000 exporters, they contribute for more than half. It's very common in an app or similar that the biggest customers provide almost half the revenue. And we definitely need to work on the part where the 66,000 companies only export for 1.2 million. If that grows, then we'll be pretty good. And if our exports grow on par with global e-commerce, we will basically, and I felt like we didn't talk so much about business to business. Actually, business to business e-commerce is 4 times bigger than business to consumer e-commerce. And if you look at the numbers here, you see, like I told you before, that our growth will be 2.6 times. That's the internet growth in the next 7 years. And if we grow our $159 billion of exports, If that just grows with e-commerce, then we will grow to 408 billion, and then it's not so much left for us to meet our goal of $500 billion. How do we get there? Search is King Kong of the internet. You have to be visible on search. And I'm not talking about the paid search. I'm talking about the organic search. If you are a consumer business, you sell to consumer, for example, all the fast fashion businesses, 74%, 74 out of 100 new clients will start and find you on a search engine. If you're selling to businesses, 90%, 90 out of 100 new clients will come through search. If you're not there, they can never find you. You don't exist. Here's a case where we have their electronics e-shop in Sweden. They sell B2B. And here we did a pilot with the clients where we uploaded 20 new unique product descriptions a day. So basically, they have integrated through our API, where every day we get an order of 20 product descriptions, and every day they have a person that approves this, and it gets sent back to the site. So it's a fully integrated process. You can also do it with your own team in our app. The point with it is that by doing this for 18 months, the site visibility has increased 4 times. And then you see that the organic keywords here has climbed 53,776 times. It's a lot. You're basically climbing a lot on all searches in Google. Additional traffic value here, it's how much money they save a month on Google AdWords. They save $35,583,000 on AdWords each month. So obviously the sale is about $850,000 because it's electronics with slim margins. Okay, so now I'm selling, obviously, that you should do product descriptions. What does it cost? Or first of all, why does it work? The reason why it works is that in 2020, we will have 40 zettabytes of data on the internet. It's growing exponentially. You are taking pictures now, tweeting, doing stuff. It just grows. And the fact is, Google, Yandex, and Baidu, they cannot catch up. So what they do is that they ignore you. They cannot install enough servers, so they ignore you. And what they do is that they basically say, and in Turkey we have a lot of XMLs, so if you get an XML with a product description, and that product description exists somewhere before, they will index it there. And your site will just ignore. You don't exist. You're not saved on their servers. But putting new unique product descriptions there, you start to rank again, because they say, hey, wow, this is probably interesting. I should display it to the people who search on Google. And just to understand this number, it's 37 times more than all the grains of sands in the world. It's like mind-boggling. You cannot even fathom how much information there is. What does it cost? And because we're a country, we're like a Perakende kind of country, in Istinje Park, 1 square meter, the rent of 1 square meter a year of a store is about $1,900, I think. It can vary a bit, of course. And that square meter, $1,900, if you do it in-house or with our crowd, it's about 1,000 product descriptions in English and 2,000 in Turkish. Imagine if you would have a store where you didn't have a window for shopping. I mean, would you ever do that? Would you open that store? Like, welcome to my Mara. I mean, you wouldn't do that. And the same thing goes here. I mean, like, if you're not visible on Google, the guys cannot find you. And if you want to do e-exports, you can forget about it. I mean, here on the fair, we will do a lot of nice deals, but we need to get more clients to our site so we have a sustainable business that continues again and again and again. And so what I'm saying is that I think that in order to build a sustainable e-export business, and unfortunately this takes about 18 months to kick in, you need to call your landlord or whoever has your office and say like, hi, I watched this H&M chart on ihracat platformu, and apparently I will lose 2/3 of my business value if I don't start investing in product descriptions. Can you please lower my rent with 1% on one of my stores? Then you will have some product descriptions. And finally, imagine if 67,000 exporters started doing this on the search engines. We wouldn't have site visibility, we would have Turkish visibility. Thank you.